All right, today I want to share with you a quick story about a client I was talking to yesterday and how, some of the things that they've been applying, some of the work that they've been doing. We've been working together, a weekly basis for about 16 months. And now this time versus last year, so the last 3 months, the first quarter, they're pretty much double what they are in their revenue. And I want to show you how they're doing that and where we're actually looking, because there's still lots of room to grow. And I thought if I showed you how the stages work and where those conversions are and how that revenue's coming to play, this kind of helps you sort of set your mind in your business, because maybe you're feeling like there's so many things that you could be doing. We want to figure out what's the one thing that you can focus on right now that will give you a lever that you can pull, something that you can do to say, okay, let's focus on this. Let's really shore that up. Let's get that variation into control and then move on to the next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, I'll do a screencast here and I'll write it out for you. And you're going to have to deal with my messy writing, but this will sort of show you how you can structure your stuff. And then we'll just kind of close up from there. Okay, now let me show you how this process works and how we're actually looking at this business. We'll keep it really simple. We're going to use those a couple things: customer stages and conversions, and figuring out where we can pull these levers. So let's sort of map it out real quick here. Their business goes like this. They've got these different areas from here, 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 here. We're going to go like this. And of course, yeah, we look at their leads that come in. What are those numbers? We often look at the contact rates of how well they're able to get a hold of people. Then we look at how many appointments that they set, so how many prospects that we get, and what the show rate looks like for those appointments, so how many people actually show up for those appointments, then how many of those people become customers, and then we typically look at the dollar per customer, and these are the kinds of things that we look at to figure out how do we create a sort of a metric and a plan, just like we've talked about in some of the shows. So first of all, we looked at this year versus last year. So this year, they have 414 leads, versus last year, same time frame, 390 leads. Okay, so those haven't really changed. What we have figured out is the contact, like from leads to appointment. This number, from how many people they're saying they're booking, is 38 this year, 38%. And then this one last year was 37%. So we didn't see really any change there. That's the first one. Then from there, we're looking at the show rate between appointment to show. This is 82% this year versus 67% last year. So we've seen quite a bit of a jump there. And then from the people that actually come in to talk to them, or that they have an appointment with, that they qualify with, the amount of people that have become customers are now 49% versus last year, 36.7%. And so when we look at this, the average dollar per customer is $12K. And $12K. So we haven't changed that at all. So based on that, they're now this year 64 customers at the same time last year in their first quarter versus 36 customers. And right now, last year, their total amount of customers was 120. So in their first quarter, they have doubled the amount of, they've been able to create half of what they need for the entire year versus this time last year. And so the reason that this happens, again, is that working with my client, is they were able to, we took each one of these stages and we looked and said, where can we get the best lift? Now, right now, we didn't really focus on the leads. They were getting enough leads. There was enough volume. We don't need more leads as long as we can do more with them. The big one here is we focused on this part here. Is we said, okay, once you get people on the phone, how well are you at, how good are you at connecting with them? Are you having the right conversation? And are you just booking them for the next step? Are you keeping those next steps manageable? So we're getting those micro commitments. And so we spend a lot of time on doing this and increase that by, as you can see, 15%. So this lift right here was a big lift for them to get more of the right people moving into their funnel at the right time. The next one we said is, okay, now once they're in to see you, once you're talking to them about the world and the business, we really want to get good at this change story. As we talked about in some of the training, the change story, we want to get good at helping see, that anticipated future regret. We want to make sure that we're gaining commitment the right way and we're getting people excited about taking action. And you can see this is a big one here of about, 9 points that were, no, is it 37, 40? 9.8 points on this one. No, what am I talking about? It's 11 points, 12 points. 12, yeah, 12%. See, this is why I have calculators. So we're looking at a 12-point increase there. So this, I wrote it down. There's the math. So this one here, and then we didn't change this. The pricing hasn't changed. And so we looked at this. Right now, we're not going to really do much work with the leads. We're not going to do much work with the changing of pricing. But you can see these two areas right here, from the initial conversation that we have with people on the phone to moving them to a qualified appointment where we try and figure out if they're going to be interested, if they're going to be qualified, and getting them to take action on being a customer. These were the two priorities we looked at. And by getting those percentage lifts there, we were able to, at this price point, give them an increase of $336,000 in the first quarter. Now we've had this conversation, we've looked at, we say, hey, we like this information. Where are we going to focus next? This is the next part here. So now we said, okay, let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's have these great conversations, but let's really focus on our contact strategy. This is why we're going to map out how do we deal with these inbound leads? How do we prospect, get these outbound leads, and really make sure that every single one of them has a minimum of 6 touches. And so that's our goal right now. But because they've been doing all the work on all of this stuff and getting good at their conversations, now they have the luxury of now getting into this and saying, okay, now we feel good about this. Let's take action on one specific area. So I hope that helps. If you map your business out like this, your customers are going to go through these stages, but if you know your conversions at each one of these stages, then you know which lever you can pull instead of trying to pull all the levers and seeing your numbers just drop. So hope that helps. I'm going to share this with you guys. Any questions, let me know. That's exciting to me. Is the biggest thing is I talked to them after our call yesterday. I said the big thing for me is that it's fun when I see people taking action, when they go and they make things happen. So it's not, I always say it's not so much the hour that we spend together, it's the 6 days and the 23 hours in between that they're putting this stuff to the test. So as you're working through the academy or doing these lessons or even just reading a blog post, I want you to think, what can I take action on today? That's the key, because this client that I'm talking about is they've been able to double their revenue in a year. They've been able to go and just absolutely crush it with being short-staffed, with all these challenges that they've had. Now, all of a sudden, they have all of these opportunities because they've created a foundation that they can build off of. And so if you're worried about where you're going to get your next sale or worried about all this stuff, focus instead on the activity versus those results and really get good at understanding those stages and those conversions that you're going through. So I hope that helps today. I just wanted to share that with you because I was excited to have that call, and I thought that would give you guys a spark in your mind to say, you know what, I can take control of certain things and I can be patient with the scalability of my growth. So I hope that helps. I'll talk to you soon.